Hi there, it's Sam from pootles.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. Today I've got a box for you. It's one that I've made, or it's the design I've made before, but this is in different dimensions because it was a requested box. So the box that I've made, as you can see, has got two of them have got windows, little windows in. I'll see if I can reflect the light for you. But the person who's requested them wanted breathing holes because she wants to put soaps in them. So I've made a few varieties, and I'm actually going to recreate this one here. But as I said, it's a design I've done before. It's a fold flat box, so that when if you're making lots in advance, it folds flat like that. I put extra sticky on there because this is how it would look at the point of putting a soap or a gift inside it. But actually, when you've finished completing, making them in advance, that's how big they are. So they take up zero storage space, basically. So I'm going to put all of these to one side and make one for you now. I'm going to be making it imperial measurements, but I will give you the metric as we go along. So I've got my scoring tool here to hand, and it starts with a piece of A4 cardstock that when you cut it down, you're left with a few little bits. Now there you go, that's the A4 piece. This bit you would use for embellishments or for maybe printing off labels or things like that, or in the case of Suzanne, ingredients listings maybe go on the back and on the back there. But this section here is absolutely perfect for making 3x3 cards, which is exactly what I did with this box here. I don't know if I can tilt that into the light properly for you. So it's a nice little notelet that you could put alongside it, or in actual fact you could use this as a box to hold notelets and envelopes. So going back to the piece that I have got, the measurements of this box, it makes an 8cm by, I think it's 2.5, is it 2 centimetres? 2 or 2.5, I can't remember, where's my ruler? 2.5 centimetre by 8cm box. So that's the finished article, which in inches is 3 by 1 inch box. So that's the finished dimensions of it. So this piece of cardstock measures 9¼ inches by 5 1/8 of an inch, which in metric is 23.5 centimetres by 13 centimetres. And you score it with the length at the top at 1 inch, 4 1/8 of an inch, 5 1/8 of an inch, and 8 1/4, which in centimetres is 2.5 centimetres, 10.5, 13 and 21 centimetres. And then you turn it around and score it at 1 inch and at 4 1/8 of an inch, which in metric is 2.5 centimetres and 10.5 centimetres. So I'm going to move that out of the way. And because this is the fold flat box, and like I say, I've made this box before, what you need to do is put extra score lines into these 3 square boxes that we've created with the score lines. We're going to use these 4 at the bottom and put the score lines so they all face into the middle. So just taking a ruler, my lovely little old Disney ruler, and you just go from the centre point here to the outer corner, same down at the bottom, and then these ones here in the middle pointing into the same direction. So hopefully if I tilt that, you can see that. So these 4 all point into the bottom larger square, and then these 2 at the top here, we want those to point towards this top square. So again, from the centre point out and the centre point out. And if I tilt that, let me see if you can see that. You can see this one is pointing into the middle, and then these here are both pointing in that direction. So I'm going to quickly fold on my score lines. This is the very vanilla cardstock, so it's slightly lighter weight than the Naturals White that I used over here, but it actually doesn't matter because it's not a massive box. You don't need to you don't need a heavyweight cardstock, so this doesn't need particularly extra burnishing or anything like that on the score lines. And then taking my scissors, this section where all of the 4 extra score lines we put in point into the middle, you need to separate part of that from the top. So just snipping above it, just up to the first score line, and then the same on the other side. Again, just up to the score line, so that separates this section here from what is going to become the lid. So I'm just going to fold along here, these are the diagonal lines, fold these, sort of manipulate with my thumbnail. Hopefully you can see that. We'll fold along that one. If you press hard enough when you make your score lines, it will fold itself. So that's the top of the box, and then the bottom of the box over here. Same down here, just sort of, you can see the action I'm doing. I'm just pushing it with my fingers and it folds itself in. Following round, doing this one here, and then this final one over here. So that is the box. That's how it would, that's the box all folded. Now I want to put the decoration in. I want to put these little air holes in. So I've got my 4-petal flower from the Itty Bitty Punch set, and because it is a short punch, I wouldn't be able to get the holes in the top, so actually all I did was I put a decorative front on the edge as well. So all you do is you fold, let's keep this section out of the way, this is the bottom, you fold the top, lip over, put your punch through both layers and sort of just eyeball it into the middle. And that will pop out. Another one on the other side. And another one over there. And that's created our design on the top so that the soaps can breathe, but it also matches up a pretty pattern on the front. So normally I would use sticky strip, but for speed purposes I'm actually going to just use snail. Now, and also because of this design I've put in the front, I can't stick this bit down here because obviously it will cover the pattern. So I want to stick them to the sides so that it closes up, the lid closes up in that way. So that means I need to put my adhesive here and here in the bottom of these 2 triangles, and you literally just fold it over. So that's it, held in place. These ones here I do want to fold in this way, so with the top triangle on both sides and then the bottom triangle at the bottom. So top triangle at the top, bottom triangle at the bottom, and literally fold it over and fold it over. So that is the box. That's how you would finish it if you were making lots of these in advance of storage, and as I said before, it's, you know, it's paper thin. But if you were making it to, you know, if you were putting a gift in straight away and you didn't seal these sides over, they would gape a bit, as you can see there. They would gape, and it's, you know, it's just not attractive. So some more adhesive up here, across both bits is fine. And pop your thumbs in, and that just closes it up. So as you can see on this one better, it's not gaping anymore. Right, let's close up the box and put a little bit of decoration on. I wanted to use soft colours, so I've chosen Wild Wasabi, and all I'm going to do is actually just put the ribbon round. I'm not going to cross it and tie it up like a parcel. So I'm just going to put it at the front, at the top. And then I've got a sentiment from Blooming with Kindness. I like these sentiments. They're soft and gentle font that's been used, and I've chosen Thank You. So I've already got that prepped up. One of the spare pieces of the cardstock that was left over from before, and then some Wild Wasabi ink. So I'm going to stamp that. Let's get this the right way around. Straight down and then straight up, and I've got my 1 3/8 of an inch circle punch. Punch that one out, and I've got some Wild Wasabi cardstock and the 1 3/4 inch scallop circle punch. those up on some dimensionals. Let's move these out of the way. Pop that one up. And over the top there. And then I'm going to put a little hole in, just into one of the top circles. Which one do I want? That one. So I'm going to put that in and wiggle it about a little bit. And then feed through. Let's trim this off so it's a sharper, tighter point. Feed that through from the back to the front. Tie the knot. And that is a simply decorated little box. I haven't over decorated it because Suzanne's soaps themselves are absolutely beautiful and the decoration is kind of in the soap itself, but obviously if you were using this as a gift box you could maybe use some designer series paper, or you could stamp onto the cardstock directly. And you can see the different styles I've done. With this box here I used I think this was the 2.5 inch circle punch, and I did the same again. I folded over the front lip and it actually made a nice little shape there. This one here I used with the Boho Blossoms punch, and again it punched out a little bit on this side here, so actually I just took the small oval punch and created a little lip there. So there you have it, a nice easy box. And like I say, the dimensions when it's done are 8 centimetres by 2.5 centimetres, which is 3 inches by 1 inch, so you know what will fit inside it. And if you want to know how to get hold of anything, let me know. Obviously I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator, so I'm able to supply everything that I've used here. There is a little sneaky peek on this one here of one of the new stamp sets and punches that's coming, but I can help you with anything and any questions you've got. So thank you very much for watching.